doing well. Quite happy to report the success of the signal so far. I'm actually really surprised and very happy actually. So basically, we're sort of making about five, 6, 7 quid. Quid is a slang for pound in British terms. So a quid is pound if you're not from the UK. So we're looking about £5, £6, £7 a day, which is okay because if we think about it over the course of a month, that's going to be quite nice, and it's going to definitely pay for the Patreon subscription and more. And what it does also can act as a confluence for your own trades as well. So we can go to the last 3 days perhaps, and then we can see. Okay, just has to think about it, and yeah, it's okay. We're just talking about micro lots, so it's not bad. For the last 3 days, it's actually quite good. Here's AJ. For example, we need the price to come up here, and then it'll kick the trading stop in, and then we'll be out of profits. So it probably created too many up there because we sort of hit resistance, but perhaps we're probably going to overcome that resistance here anyway, and we can propel higher. So I'm quite happy. It's not an amazing amount of money, but it's proven that the process is working. Okay, so very happy, and I'll have to see how we go. And maybe in a couple of weeks I might go live, which would be really interesting. So I'm going to do definitely more testing this week, next week, and then we'll have to see the week after. And we have to see how this performs on a big risk event as well, because we did the CPI and NFP, and it was okay for both, but we haven't gone through an interest rate announcement yet. So I know we've got RBA looming, so RBA is going to be interested. It might mean that we're going to hit some stops, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so let's go to FXCM. My computer was a bit slow yesterday, so hopefully it's going to be better today. Here's a diagonal break. Now, what you're interested in is for the confluence, the agreement of technical, and then the sentiment. They went long here. All right, so what's going to happen? Someone has to counter that trade. If the dumb money go long, someone has to counter it, and they have to take the opposite side of that trade. So they go long, someone has to sell it, and the big entity arrived to counter that trade and push price lower. Do note that they are selling it quite heavily, so this is looking like a bit of a stop run potentially. So this should be like a phony candle. This is probably fake, and we're probably going to come up a little bit because of that. All right, so there's the logic. So you're looking for entry for a short combination of the sentiment, and down we come. And that'd be enough profit for a week, just those few hours there, several hours, I say. And so that's that. And we should probably be seeing a little bit wick below on this current hourly candle. Okay, so because of that. And yeah, we'll just have to see, won't we? S&P, it was making buy. It wasn't a risky buy because we already are a buy at the big picture. We're below 50% and they're selling it. So that agrees with the static. So the dynamic is the flow over time, and that agrees with the static nature of the sentiment. We're below 50%, so it's a buy. And if they sell it over time, it's more of a buy over time. All right, so what's happening is that we're creating like a triangle ish, and I think this was like a stop run potentially, and we're going to be looking for a break to the upside if they hold short. Okay, they need to do that. If they just like flip flop like they have been doing, we'll just go sideways. So if you're looking for any justification or rationale for the moves, it's the sentiment, because there has to be someone to counter that trade. So if a million people short, there's got to be an entity large enough to counter those million people, and who's large enough for that is the banks, the big banks, and institutions. All right, so probably looking for more upside if they continue to sell it, which is a big if. We don't want them to flip flop because that's what they have been doing. And backs, and we are just going sideways. I called it a sideways sandwich. We are currently, they're going long, so that's fine. This candle is fine. that would be normal, that would be expected, because if they go long, it should be falling. Okay, so we're probably going to bounce in that sandwich. So, we'll have to report back tomorrow for that. Not much to be said. We are very skewed, do be aware of. And it's just completely destroying the bears. And it has been for ages. And it's been a buy for a really, really long time, nearly 6 months. And yet people are wanting to sell it, which is crazy. And lastly, US 30. And then I'll report back later this evening, with some more testing results. And if you guys want to publish screenshots of your testing, that would be great as well. I'd really appreciate that. And US 30, they got punished. Basically, we went to sell, and so they got really screwed, basically. And that took out a lot of liquidity. And it might be that we need to break that low, and then it'll be a proper flush out, and then we'll see this come down. And do note, we're making a buy. All right, so we might just need to have a flush. 32900 would probably do it down here. And then, then it will be a buy if you're looking for longs for a break there. And then you're looking for a long once we're above that low, because we would have flushed those lows and taken out stops. And then you would have got the sentiment behind you, and you know where your stop is going to be. Okay, so once that breaks, you're going to look for a retracement, and then you're going to long with a stop round about there, and then that'll be it. That'll be the stop run, and then your entry point. So you've got to wait for them to get flushed out, and this is why I said in Discord it's a flush out, and this is probably what it is. So look for a break there, and then look for longs potentially, but we have to be careful, and you've got to be careful with the Dow Jones as well. It's quite a beast. So I'll wrap up now, and I'll speak to you guys in the evening, and feel free to publish screenshots. That'd be most welcome for me and also the community as well. So I'll speak to you soon.